Paul is an American reporter in Puerto Rico in 1960. But he quickly gets entangled in the lives of an American beauty and her shady husband, Sanderson. As Sanderson's illegal dealings begin to emerge, Paul decides to stand up for what's right and report the truth in the Rum Diary.
Next up, The Rum Diary. We've all just seen it. Leah, start us off.
The Rum Diary is based on a fictionalized account of Hunter S. Thompson's exploits as a journalist in 1960 Puerto Rico. And what ensues is a lot of boozing and a little bit of acid tripping, a whole lot of reckless living, and a whole lot of craziness going on.
I actually want to bring up this idea of it being reckless and crazy because in my estimation, it does none of that. I mean, Hunter S. Thompson is Johnny Depp's patron saint. Johnny Depp found this book in the back of Hunter S. Thompson's office in a box that he pulled out randomly. Thompson didn't want to publish it, but Johnny Depp sort of talked him into it. And in the manuscript, before it went to a final script form, they collapsed these two characters. There was the evil one and the normal one, and they were supposed to be both sides of Thompson's personality, and they collapsed them into one rather boring one.
But it feels like when they adapted the book, they put every single topic in the book into this movie, and for 2 hours of a movie, it doesn't work because it can't delve into each topic with the amount of time that it needs to.
Once Paul Kemp, played by Johnny Depp, arrives in Puerto Rico, we understand that he is kind of unhinged and really needs a job, and he gets this job at a newspaper. From that moment on, nothing else makes sense in the film. Even if it were about surrealism, that doesn't even make any sense. Right. And so there are these discrete episodic moments that are played out throughout the film, and there's nothing that ties them all together.
It doesn't encounter any of the profound weirdness that it could have otherwise done. I mean, yellow journalism, an expatriate living abroad who doesn't speak the language. The only sense of a moral or any kind of lesson hazarded is at the very, very, very end when we get this meek treatise on the nobility of the beleaguered newspaperman, and then the movie ends.
The sort of weirdness, the sort of strange odyssey that you could go on with Hunter S. Thompson, there's maybe 2 or 3 scenes in this entire movie that kind of had that madcap weirdness. You've got the characters who drop something in their eyeball, which is apparently some sort of drug that they have a strange acid trip on.
It's an acid trip, but it's an anachronistic acid trip, because that stuff doesn't happen until about 5-10 years later.
And you've got a scene where they go to see a hermaphroditic oracle who blesses a chicken and then puts a curse on someone else. Those scenes are kind of interesting and have their own world, but they're few and far between. Otherwise, it's scene to scene and it's boring.
And they're completely out of place because everything else is normal. And on that note, it's the same thing with Giovanni Ribisi. And I kind of feel sorry for him.
No such thing as 470 proof alcohol.
Certainty you might be required to moderate. No smoking in the extraction area, if you please.
Don't be ridiculous.
It's like everyone else got the memo that this was a normal, sober movie, and no one told Ribisi.
His performance seems put upon. It seems fake. It seems plastic, as do a lot. I find that a lot of the performances in this film are just very flat.
Let's talk about Johnny Depp. I mean, Johnny Depp is the guy that we've come to expect great performances from, even in, summer fare like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Here, he's flat just like everybody else. It's like he loved the setting and that was about it for him.
It feels like he wanted like a vacation in Puerto Rico and then you make the movie there.
As the self-appointed executor of the Hunter S. Thompson cultural estate, it's a shame that Johnny Depp would just phone in this performance. Yeah. You would think that as someone who has so much love for what this man means in terms of, American culture and journalism and literature and so on, that Depp just could not see fit to bring it.
Other than Depp, though, there's nobody here to really talk about. Aaron Eckhart's in this movie. He's flat.
Why?
He has nothing
Why
to
is
do.
Two-Face in this movie?
I did like Depp's counterpart, Sala, the photographer.
Yes,
he has
he's
this
all right.
very grizzled, beleaguered sense about him, and I thought that was fine. How much of this do you put on the shoulders of our director, or our writer here?
Oh, well, Bruce Robinson, made with Nail and I in the 80s.
Which gives him a free pass as far as I'm concerned.
Well, he lost his get-out-of-jail-free card on this movie, I think. I mean, there's no excitement here, either in the script form or the way he directs the film. He can't inject it with anything. He can't get us invested in the material. The scenes that are sort of Thompson-esque, the strange scenes, the out-of-place scenes, are few and far between. Otherwise,
I really felt like he was out of his depth.
Okay.
Here, in his inability to kind of wrap his arms around all of the, kind of feigned chaos that's going on in this
Which
film.
is the weird thing, because he only directed this film on the basis that he could write it too, so he could have control of the materials. He can do with it whatever he wants. He's the man who was brought in to bring this thing to life as a writer and a director. And I agree with you, he just sort of loses control of it because he never lets it get out of control.
I think that we adore this film, obviously, so we should probably end this and take it to a vote.
The Rum Diary is a mess. Not a glorious 2-week bender, who on earth is this llama in my bed kind of mess, but a catastrophe of randomness. Skip it.
Fans of Hunter S. Thompson's work come to expect certain things from him, but this movie isn't absurdist enough, it's not funny enough to warrant anyone's time. Skip it.
I was really hoping that I would go on a fantastic odyssey in watching The Rum Diary. Instead, all I wanted was a big bottle of Bacardi. Skip it.
Well, that's 0 tickets, which means it's a skip it for The Rum Diary. Cheers.
Salute.
Cheers.